Welcome to a playthrough of Heconomics. This is the second time I've been doing this game. First time didn't really get anywhere. There is some problems when playing this game in the current state because we don't really have any players. So I'm basically alone in the world and I don't have much to invest in or anything like that. So this is basically just a test run. This is to show you how to play better. The first couple videos are probably going to be really boring. Hopefully I can get to more than one video this time. But the first thing I'm going to do is join the game. Now when you start a game here, this is your identity basically. Okay. There has been some updates. For instance, you can resize the map now. I'm on the default is small. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't even know if my volume's coming in good enough, because it's been a long time since I've done a video, so who knows. But I will watch it after the first one and see what happens. So you start off with some money. This depends on different factors, how much you start off with. It is just, basically, I put that in there because the game is so difficult. It's really hard to start with $0, and it's very time consuming. So this money comes from the funds of the public cash. So I can't remember the exact equation, but it's a very simple thing that you get a certain amount of that money, and I start with 37.56. Sometimes that will be enough to start your investments. We can actually go to the exchange right now just to check it out. That's the directory. If we look at the stock market, we can actually see what the asking prices are, which are going to be a little bit higher. So I'm looking for something really low, and I'm not seeing much. It's like 50.91 might be the lowest, but that is not a good choice because that company currently, I should say firm, has a oh, here we go, 43. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna look into this company. I don't know why I say company. They're technically called firms in this game. Okay, so shareholders, the public owns all the shares, so I just need to buy one share and then I take over this company. It is insolvent, so let's check out their... Oh, okay, so we're running into problems already. Actually, I'm not sure. They don't have any properties or nothing. Yeah, they shouldn't be insolvent, so that should fix, I think. It's probably just from fixing bugs and stuff, and there's still some residual information there. Okay, so let's get this started. Yeah, because we were working on making the game a little bit faster on the current server, so there probably is going to be a significant amount of bugs that I got to work out. As you can see, I just joined the game and my event isn't here, so that's one. So let's start. I'm just going to make a few dollars here to get started. So we're going to have to find a farm to work at. Here we go. So here we are at the farm and we can work. Now we're in a tractor and we're going to head up and try to find a cabin to make some money. This is like what you do when you're really poor and just starting the game. Well, it all depends on the situation, but if you're really poor and starting the game and the map is undeveloped, this is what you're going to have to do. So when I land on this, oh wait, this is a farm as well, so that's not going to help me. Need to find a cabin. So as you can see, it's very hard to make money at first if there's nothing around, if the map is undeveloped. There might be a few small sections on the map right now that are developed, but like I say, there's no other players, or if there is, they come in very casually at this point in time, so you can't really expect to make any money from that. And there's barn. See, usually there's more cabins than barns. There's a higher chance of finding cabins, but I guess in this area, the odds didn't work out very well, and there's a lot of farms. And the map is totally changeable, so it's always going to be changing through events and storms. Okay, so we got a cabin probably coming up pretty soon. This is pretty much farmland around here, which means there's probably cabins somewhere in the area. Hopefully. Okay, so the one thing you can do is, if you want to resize the map to see more, you can do that, but there's a slower loading time. It's not too bad. Okay, so I'll probably just leave it on this for now. Right now, like, my internet connection isn't the best, so it's probably going to be a little bit slower than it should. Okay, there we go. We found one in the distance here. But if you're making runs and you want that extra speed, you just go to the small map probably. But if you're trying to think strategically, yeah, just keep it on the larger maps. It's not a super big difference, if any, but I mean, yeah, I think it's a little, might be like up to a 1 second difference on average from the small to the large of loading time. Eventually, I would like to get, okay, so here's what happened. I landed on this and then I got money. There's no taxes right now, evidently. Tax 0%, okay. So the mayor gets to decide taxes, and since there's no mayor at the moment, there's no taxes. Okay, so I got some money. I think I needed like 43. I can't remember to take over that company, so I'm going to do that again. Let's just go back this way. I think there's plenty of barns over there. Remember, barns are more rare than cabins, so I should say farms. So if you know where they are, they're generally better to go to unless you've used up all the cabins in the area. For example, if we look right here at this cabin, this time right here, this is going to be organized a little bit better, I think. But that time, that 545, that's seconds until their demand increases. Well, actually, every second their demand increases a little bit, but to fully recover, it has to go back down to 0. So if I come back with another delivery here, they'll still pay me, but it's going to be only a percentage based on the time. So the lower you get that time, the more they're going to pay you. Okay, so I'm going to head back up to this farm up here. And we should be able to buy a share pretty quick. Okay, I'm going to work here. So the game is pretty much functioning. I mean, I'm pretty sure everything is playable. Like I say, I'm not totally sure because we just did those map updates, which might cause some problems. But the game should be largely playable, and hopefully we'll get some players in the future. I still haven't even put advertised merchant adventure at all, and that game is very solid. I've just been extremely busy this summer. I haven't been, obviously I haven't been playing these games. I've done a lot of testing, hours and hours almost every day, but no actual playing. So that will probably change soon. Hopefully. Gotta make some time for this stuff. Okay, so here we pull into this cabin. And we are at 45, so let's go to the exchange. Not sure if this is the best idea because, like I said, I haven't played in a while, so who knows if I'm really being that strategic. So this one's 43. I think that's the one we checked. Yeah, it's gotta be. So let's check this out. Ajrep Corp. Okay. Okay, so we can see the insolvent status went away. It just needed, there was just a residual problem there, so it's all good. Net worth 0. Not sure how that happened, but something was probably reset when we were doing all those fixes. So, yeah, let's go for this company. It's pretty much like starting a new company with it the way it is right now, so we'll just do that. What? Was I looking at the wrong one? I think I was looking at Ajrep, GMBH, before. Maybe that's why I saw that wrong. I don't know. Okay, so I guess this thing's still insolvent, but let's see. Okay, so this is the one we want right here. I don't know what I was looking at. I don't know if something screwed up or if I was just looking at things wrong. I mean, I'm old, so yeah, I can look at stuff wrong. Okay, here we go. Let's get this one right here. Okay, I don't know. Did that work? Okay, there's some air down there. Great. So yeah, this is going to be a really okay, I did purchase it. It worked. Yeah, so that should actually not happen. I mean, I don't know what that visual problem was, but yeah, there's just some things that are probably going to be a little rough right now. Should be fixed up in the next month here, and then I'll probably start advertising it a little bit with Merchant Adventure and see if we can get a few players. Okay, so let's go to the main screen because now we can go into here. This is our new firm that we've acquired. Okay, the principal of bond issued by Ajrep and owned by Ajrep increases. Okay, so we didn't. Defaults on 30. Okay, so it is insolvent. So maybe the problem is that the date is not showing up here in the profile. Bondholders. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so that is something that needs to be fixed. So please ignore that. Okay, yeah, so here's the thing. So I must have, whoever had this firm last must have issued a bond. I don't know. And they never sold it. And for some reason there's a bug where it's trying to collect its own money. So money from itself. So that should not happen. That was previously fixed. So who knows what's going on with that. But I'm going to go to bonds, outstanding. And I can pay it off, or I'm going to sell. So this shouldn't be here because I've never sold the bond. So I'm going to sell it to the public here, and then we should be able to get some money. You'll see the 0 go up. Okay, there we go. So we sold it to the public, and then we look at bonds outstanding. Now this should be here. This is accurate now. So the bonds that you just issued will be down here. And then bonds that are outstanding will be up here. Okay, so I have money now. Not enough, but I'm going to see if I can. See. Yeah, so whoever had this company last, issued that bond, I believe. So I'm going to go 1% here, 0% issue. And then we're looking at the bond market here, so we see ours up here. Okay, so now Again, the same thing. This should not be here. So by the time you play this, this will probably be fixed. I'm going to sell this to the public again. So I got more money. Okay, now here's the issue. Here's the problem. That I can't issue this right now because I have a timer limit. So the game won't let you issue bonds back to back. You got to wait. So in the meantime, we can just take a look at this and try to figure out what we're going to do. Okay, so here's the problem when there's no other players. This is a perfect example. So I have this firm and I'm taking some loans, but the things that you need to do are extremely costly. While I explain this, I'm going to go back and start earning more money with my identity account. I should explain this a little bit better. So back to this main screen. This is my identity. This is the firm that I control. Any firms you control are the executive. They'll be down here. And if you control the government, it'll also show up down here. So right now I'm signing back into my identity account. And while I explain the problem, I'm going to be doing some work. So let's head down to a barn and make some more money from my personal account. Okay, as I was saying before, so as you can see, the cash is different. This is my personal funds, and then I have like, what, 60 something in my firm has. Okay, so here's the problem. Things are very expensive, okay, and money's hard to come by, and you gotta issue loans, and it takes a while. So I might actually change that, I'm not sure, but we'll see. I might take that timer off and then just put a different type of limit, I'm not sure. So for now though, this is how it is. We're going to work here again. But to the point I was trying to make is the problem is that when there's no one else playing, I have to build everything from scratch. I have to build the infrastructure, I have to get the industries, I've got to get the attractions before I can really start making money. So it's going to be a long process. Now if there's other people playing and they have an industry running already, I can build an attraction nearby next to some houses and start making money that way. If there's already a complete infrastructure in place, you can just be a driver just like this and go run from industries down to attractions and make your firm money like that. So we're looking for another cabin up here. Hopefully we'll run into one. Oh yeah, we got one. That's good. Now I should explain how much infrastructure is needed so to really make money outside of, just going from farms to cabins. Farms to cabins is the most basic thing you can do. So the infrastructure that's going to be needed is housing, because those are essentially the clients. So you're going to need housing out there, you're going to need industry, you're going to need attractions, which represent things like retail stores or commercial areas, and then you're going to need transportation system. So basically you're going to need roads or rails. Now when you build a road next to a cabin, the cabin will turn into housing. Or you can just construct housing from scratch as well, but it needs to be next to a road. If a housing, if cabin is not next to, if a housing loses its road that's adjacent to it, it will revert to a cabin. Okay, so we're almost good here. So we'll just go back to this farm, and head up to that cabin. So by the time we get there, it's going to pay us 100%. So each player has a storm associated with it. So every time the player makes a move, its storm moves and it makes random changes on the map. So the map is dynamically changing all the time. And the more people that there are, the more the changes there's going to be. So I'll just work there, and I'm going to head up to this cabin. Make some more money so we can increase our investments. So I have my firm. The way you got to make money is you got your firm. You don't necessarily have to have a firm. I mean, if there's other people doing all this work, you can just be an investor, which is pretty cool. You can buy shares or bonds. But right now, since I'm alone in the world, I'm going to be just making money like this in between managing my firm. And we're going to try to get an infrastructure built this week, hopefully. And then in a few weeks, we should be able to find most of the bugs in this game. They're probably really small ones, like what we just saw, just things that don't really affect the game, that are just kind of a nuisance a little bit. And then we should be good to go on this game, because we've been working on this for a few years now. Okay, gonna work again. Whoops. Work. And we're going to find a cabin. We're just going to keep going north for now. Down south from where we came from, there seems to be a lot of farms. Here we go. Here's a cabin. And then we got another farm up here, so we'll go up there and explore after working and trying to find some cabins. Alright, we're up to 14 cash. Alright, that's good. Maybe we'll try to do some campaigning, political campaigning this game as well, so we can see how the government works. Not in this video, but hopefully in this game later this week, if I have time. It's going to be hard. So yeah, this game has tons of potential in strategy if we can get several players on it. Do we already go to this one? I don't think so. But the timer is down to 0, so we should be good. So we've acquired a firm. We're getting a little bit of cash saved up here. We took a few loans with our firm, and we're going to be taking another one when we come back in the next episode.